Welcome to the game view. This is week 4 against the San Francisco 49ers. This is the first drive of the game for the Packers. This is the most successful, the longest play of this drive. It's a 19-yard completion to Randall Cobb. The reason why I'm showing this play is to show you right away the defense that San Francisco employed through the majority of this game. This is the old shell coverage with 2 deep safeties and then tight underman coverage that defenses largely started using against the Packers around the end of 2011 and then all through 2012. Defensive coordinators realized that this is the ideal coverage that to slow Aaron Rodgers down. Aaron Rodgers likes to throw the quick short passes. The tight man underneath makes that difficult. And then when he does go downfield, he likes to throw it down the sideline, which with your 2 safeties here also makes that difficult. So this is a coverage that Aaron Rodgers has seen a lot in his career. The Packers don't see defenses play this coverage that often anymore because of their running game and because of the success of Eddie Lacy. So what San Fran was doing here was essentially saying, okay, we're going to make you grind it out against us. And a lot of teams don't like to do that because the problem with that is it gives Packers a good chance to dominate the time of possession and to limit the other team's possessions. And the Packers typically are one of the most efficient offenses in the league. Therefore, if you get in a game where there's not a lot of possessions between the two of you, that's not odds in your favor because the Packers are so efficient on offense. Chances are they're going to end up with more scores at the end of the game than you. Now, what happens in this play, the big reason why this play ends up being successful for the Packers is because of the down and distance. Eddie Lacy had just ripped off a 6-yard run on first down the play before this. So this is now 2nd and 4. Being that it's 2nd and 4, the Packers could very easily run on this play. The 49ers are very cognizant of that, and you're going to see both the linebackers stay up near the line of scrimmage in order to defend the run. On top of that, we kind of give a play-action look to Eddie Lacy. This also helps freeze the pass rush and stop them from just charging upfield towards Rodgers. Gives Rodgers plenty of time. So with the combination of Rodgers having time and with Cobb having more room to work behind the linebackers, this ends up being a fairly easy play for the Packers when Randall Cobb beats the slot defenders, Jimmy Ward, for a nice 19-yard gain. Now, Cobb beating Ward was probably the biggest reason why the Packers had success on this first drive, is they went to Cobb a couple times over the middle against Ward. So here we go ahead and roll this forward. Here we're going to see the play action there to Eddie Lacy. The linebackers are staying near the line of scrimmage, playing the run. Now they realize it's a pass, but it's too late. Randall Cobb has already slipped behind them, and he has got the middle of the field. Ward was probably expecting to have a little bit more help in the middle of the field. Is what might be one of the reasons why he's a step late here. And Randall Cobb is pretty wide open for an easy pass delivered by Rodgers. That is a 19-yard pickup for the Packers. This is the touchdown that ended this drive for the Packers first touchdown of the game. This is going to end up going to Richard Rodgers on the busted play. This is a great play by Aaron Rodgers, MVP type play from him. Unfortunately, what would end up being the best play of the game for him. Now, I think who you can see again that San Francisco is sitting in their shell coverage, which is, especially as you get near the end zone, San Francisco tends to get more into zone type looks, is what they like to play near the end zone. That hasn't changed in the last so many years. And what we're going to see here is it looks like Aaron Rodgers is actually looking for Eddie Lacy on this play. I think he expects that Navarro Bowman here is going to be blitzing, and he thinks he can get the middle of the field wide open after Bowman vacates it. As you can see here, he's partially right. Rodgers moves Eddie over to Bowman's side of the field. And then we roll this forward. And you can see here he looks for Lacy, but Bowman actually faked the blitz and then tied Lacy up and stayed with him. And even though you can see the middle of the field indeed is wide open, but Lacy doesn't get open, and so this forces Aaron Rodgers to have to create something. And now we get into Fran Tarkenton mode. Rodgers gets to the outside. Great move by Richard Rodgers at the back of the end zone to get free here and offer a good target for Aaron. And again, Aaron Rodgers' ability to fire quickly while on the run leads to a touchdown for the Packers. Here we'll go ahead and take a look at it from the other point of view. You can see Rodgers there get out of the pocket. Actually, good blocking by the line. And then, boom, that quick pass. His ability to release it so quickly and accurately while running leads to that touchdown there for Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. All right, it is 7-0 Green Bay. The Packers would have the ball back. And I'm showing you this play real quickly here just to show you that the Packers threw another wrinkle at a team. They showed an unscouted look. Here we actually have Randall Cobb and Ty Montgomery both in the background, both in the backfield with Aaron Rodgers. This is something that we had not done yet. Packers actually have 4 receivers on the field on this play with Jeff Janis lined out wide and then Jones on the other side. Richard Rodgers in the slot here. I'm actually loving this look here. And this ends up being a good play for the Packers. Not sure why we didn't do a little more of this. As you're going to watch this play here, Ty Montgomery looks very good at running the ball inside. In fact, actually kind of reminds me a little bit of Percy Harvin with his toughness running inside. And also, the 49ers didn't necessarily do a very good job of reacting to Randall Cobb being out there either. Looks like we could have tried Cobb, and that might have been successful as well. So I'm not sure why we didn't run this play again, and maybe give it to Cobb once or twice and let this play keep going. Another, as I said, a good run here by Montgomery. And the Packers once again would get a short mark of the first down. You can explain that one to me. I don't know. All right, it's still 7-0 Packers. The read option. How did we defend it? Well, you'll see in this game that we actually totally changed up and did something totally different than what we did against Seattle. What we actually did in this game quite a bit was in order to defend the read option, which this is an obvious read option situation here, is the Packers would bring both of their safeties up, and the safeties on these play actually have the edge. So both Nick Perry and Mike Neal on this play, they do not have to worry about the edge. If they can play the running back, and if Kaepernick hands the ball off, they can go right to the running back and not have to worry about the quarterback keeping it, because if the quarterback keeps it and takes to the outside in either direction, it's going to be the safety's responsibility to get upfield and attack that play. We'll run this forward and see this. Here comes the read option. You can see Mike Neal starting to step up as he sees the read option coming his way. Micah Hyde stepping up as well. Here comes the read option. Again, Mike Neal is coming down pretty hard. Not really worried about the running back. Not really worried about Kaepernick in this case. He's actually just going to play the running back. As you see there, Mike Neal tackling the running back. Would have been nice if Neal actually would have thrown the tight end the shoulder here. Could have ruined this play for the 49ers. So even though the Packers are in this defense, and this defense would be very successful in stopping the read option, especially in the second half, here the read option still works. And that's because San Fran threw the Packers a wrinkle, and they brought their tight end from the other side of the formation, across the formation, and he blocks Hyde and gives Kaepernick an open lane. With the way that this play is looking right now, a good defensive reaction by the Packers to hold this to just a 9-yard gain. Also helped that Kaepernick sensed trouble there and just dove down. Saw Kaepernick dive down a lot in this game. Guess he's really worried about getting injured. Okay, it is 7-3 at this point of the game. This is the Packers drive right before half, in which they would manage to take up the rest of the half. However, Mason Crosby would come in and miss a field goal, and we would go to halftime at 7-3. Now, the reason why I'm showing this play is that, again, San Francisco looks like they're in their same look. They have their man coverage underneath. They have their 2 deep safeties. However, this is not a 2 deep look. What San Fran is going to do here, and they actually did this a number of times in the game as well, is they're going to pull the Seattle Seahawks and they're going to roll into a 3 deep zone. And yeah, San Fran did this quite a bit in this game. What that means is that the safety, one of the safeties, this time one on this side here, which is the strong side, he has actually got flat coverage, just like Seattle likes to do with Cam Chancellor. He is going to come up and come into this flat here. And this is a 3 deep coverage with this corner having this deep zone, this safety having deep middle, and this corner having deep zone over here. Now, the Packers actually run a perfect play to burn the 3 deep. So what they're going to do is they're just going to run James Jones out to a deep post here. He is going to settle down between the 2 zones, the 2 guys that are back deep. and it's going to be wide open for Aaron Rodgers as we roll this forward. Obviously here I think Jones and Rodgers recognize it. They can see that the safety is coming up to cover this flat. So Rodgers has, he's got his pick here. He can throw it out to the flat. Looks like this would probably get a little bit of, get some yards if he dumps this off. But also with this safety closing fast, he knows that a gap is opening up right here for James Jones to settle in. There goes James Jones. There's the pass. Beautiful. Jones makes a cut, gets upfield, gets a block from Cobb, and that ends up being a 36-yard play for the Packers. We are in the second half. This is the 49ers' opening drive of the second half. It's going to end up going nowhere. I'm showing this play to show you what the 49ers faced when trying to run the ball in the second half. The Packers at this point have basically given up defending the pass. They are not keeping their safeties back for the pass at all. These are essentially zero looks, and they are going to run a bunch of zero looks at San Francisco. This is practically unfair, as the Packers they're going to bring everybody up to the line of scrimmage. They got all 11 guys to stop the run. Here you see all 11 guys are within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage. And there's absolutely just nowhere to go for Hyde here. Hyde thinks about cutting back, but Nick Perry has done a good job of just following the play down the line. He's not gotten upfield. He's not, he has not gotten lazy and stayed back too far. He has pursued the play down the line, and because of that, Hyde does not have a cutback lane. So then he changes his mind and tries to go over the top, where Clay Matthews is waiting for him and delivers the hit that like Clay can do. Okay, this is the play that essentially ends the game for the 49ers. It is 4th and 5. There's 4.5 minutes left to go in the game. 49ers absolutely must score here. It's a 17-3 lead for the Packers at this point. This play is dead before the ball is even snapped. This is a pre-snap disaster for the 49ers. They have no chance to be successful on this play. Because what is going to happen is the Packers are going to blitz 6. The 49ers have a double tight end set. They have tight end on each end of the line of scrimmage. They have 2 running backs in the backfield. So they have enough guys initially to block for a 6-man blitz. However, the 49ers nobody stays in to do it. All 4 guys, both the running backs in the backfield and both tight ends, they all go out for passes. So that leaves the 49ers with only 5 guys to block a 6-man blitz. They can't do it. Mike Neal comes free, and Kaepernick has no chance, no time to do anything on this play. Obviously, probably one of these running backs, like maybe Hyde here, should have stepped to his right and helped out on the blitz. If they would have done that, then it's possible 49ers could have been successful, but they didn't. They blew the play, and this is an easy sack for Mike Neal, who is off the line of scrimmage like a bolt here. And this is going to be the sack that is going to end the game. Yes, the Packer defense can go ahead and celebrate as this game is over. It's going to be a 17-3 victory for the Packers. I will talk to you after the end of the game against the Rams next week.